Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to the show. Happy Tuesday night, everybody. Fantasy football is in full session. Welcome to the show, guys. Doing the lives at 8:30. Having a great time hanging out with you guys here in prime time. Excited to dive in today. We're talking about first round. How do we solve it? Who do we draft? What do we do for drafting from first position, if we're drafting from the sixth position? If we're drafting from the 12th position, how do we handle it? What do we do? Who do we draft? Who do we avoid? What do we do in that precious first round? Is there a benefit to drafting a league winner in round one? Is it a major disadvantage if we draft a bust in round one? All the answers right here, guys. So we're going to really dive into that first round here. Welcome, everybody. Shout out to everybody. Some regulars here. Welcome. Adam in the house. Dan in the house. Dan Iglesias in the house. Mark DeBruin in the house. Jay Slay in the house. We got so many great people here. Howdy, y'all, from Jason Grief. What's up? Brian French in the house. We're talking first round. Again, how to solve the first round. It's going to be exciting. We're going to dive in here. You know what to do, guys. If you guys are regulars, hit the thumbs up. I want everybody with the power of the lion to hit the thumbs up. Smash it, tap it, drop a comment below. I'm going to do a Q&A at the end of this. We're going to talk news and notes with Breaking Brad in just a moment. We do breaking news, we get to the topic, and then we do Q&A. So, guys, it's super exciting here. I have to shout out the main thing here. We are 1 week away from the Fantasy Sports Summit. Tickets are limited, guys. They're selling like hotcakes. They're selling like lemonade on a lemonade stand on a hot summer day in Arizona. Grab your ticket to the Sports Summit. Secure your summit ticket. I had Frank Gore Jr., Pat Frymuth posted on their story about today. Go check out their story. They posted about the summit. And this is huge. It's going to be August 21st. It's going to be live just like this. We're going to have athletes on. You get to ask questions. It's going to be pretty cool, man. It's going to be awesome. Tim the Bald Guy, Jim. So make sure you guys don't miss out on this experience. So this is the first ever and only Fantasy Sports Summit, August 21st, 7:30. You guys want to grab your tickets. And if you have not got it yet, grab the 16-round draft solution. It's going to put you light years ahead of the sheep. You're going to have an ironclad roster. It's going to be badass. So grab the 16-round draft solution right now. I've linked it below. Or head on over to thefantasyfootballcounselor.com, okay? Grab 16 rounds. Grab a ticket to the summit. We're 1 week away from that summit, man, okay?
We now have breaking news.
Oh, wow. We got Breaking Brad in the house.
We now have breaking news.
I really want to talk about a couple of things in the news that are very important. And drop your questions. There's been some injuries starting to happen. They're starting to pile up. Let's get to a couple of things in the headlines here. Jamar Chase was not in attendance at practice today. Not sure what's going on with him in training camp. Probably a contract situation. It is what it is. Marquise Brown is expected to miss 4 to 6 weeks with a sternoclavicular. I think it's a sternum. It's up here. I don't know, man. He's hurt 4 to 6 weeks. I don't care about. He's not fantasy relevant. I wasn't drafting Hollywood Brown. Never drafted Hollywood Brown. Never will draft Hollywood Brown. Don't care for fantasy. Brandon Ayuk, apparently there's a standing offer here, long-term extension with the Steelers. Apparently they all got to come to some sort of agreement. It's crazy. Like, who does Brandon Ayuk think he is? Like, I'm not seeing this whole Brandon Ayuk hype. Like, I'm not seeing it. Like, who is he? Like, he's not even that good. And all this hype, like, there's been nothing else to talk about. Let's just talk about Brandon Ayuk. I don't want to extend this conversation too much more, other than all this Brandon Ayuk diva drama, which is ridiculous, man. Like, he doesn't deserve anywhere near what he's asking. Like, dude, you're not that good. Okay, you're just not. JJ McCarthy. Speaking of what a crappy team the Vikings are, they're just a terrible team. Terrible team. Your starting running back, is Aaron Jones, washed up Aaron Jones, and Ty Chandler. Like, that is not a good running back situation. And now you've got your top rookie here, quarterback, knee problem. He's got a torn meniscus, JJ McCarthy, in his right knee. The determination as to whether it's a full repair or a cleanup will take place during the operation. This guy's out indefinitely. He's not going to play. I don't think he's going to play this year, man. And then you've got Sam Darnold. So we're going to talk first round here, which is going to lead us to literally, like, are we going to be drafting Justin Jefferson? I'll let you know my thoughts, okay? So that's it for news. Am I missing something? Malik Neighbors will miss practice. I think he should be good to go week 1. Still nothing on Jahmyr Gibbs with the hamstring. Don't know. We'll talk about him as well because all first-round relevance here. A lot of first-round relevance and injury impact going on here. So we got to talk about it. We got to discuss how to handle that first round. Again, if you're new to the channel, smash it, tap it, slap it, and grab the 16-round draft solution. I've linked it below. We got a big episode tomorrow as well. We're talking top 10 running backs. That's going to be a big one. So make sure you guys are turned on the bell. Go turn on the bell right now. You don't want to miss out. 16 rounds. If you're drafting without 16 rounds, you're literally drafting blind. I don't know what to tell you. You're drafting based on consensus Sheep's rankings, and that ain't going to be how you're going to win your league. So make sure you guys do grab the 16-round draft solution right now. Drop some comments below. Hit the thumbs up. I'm watching my live right now, actually. I'm watching us live. So I'm actually watching. I want thumbs up. I want to see hearts and thumbs up. How do you hit a heart here? Thumbs up. Where's the heart? Somebody leave a heart and a thumbs up. There you go. I see a heart and a thumbs up. I'm just learning this live thing right now. All right, so let's get to the first round. We don't need to watch ourselves here. All right, so I'm going to pull up here a simulation. Ooh, that's a simulation. Simulation here real quickly here. What can I do here to expand it out? Can I expand it out a little bit bigger here? Little bit bigger here. Bigger. There's nice and big here. Okay. Now we can see the entire screen nice and big. You can't miss it. Where am I though? What happened to me? How did I get out off the screen here? No. Okay. Well, I'm off the screen here. That's not good. Okay. So anyways, we don't need me on the screen here. You can see me here. So when I go to the simulator, I just want to talk about the first round. We're talking about the first round here. And we don't need to see me on the screen, which we should be able to, but let me get me back on my screen here. All right. Me now. You can't see me now. Oh man, this program. Guys, I need to get another program. This technical difficulties. There we go. Oh, we got it. Okay. So now you guys can see. There we go. Technical difficulties are under control, everybody. Relax. We're hanging out. Okay, so first round here. I wanted to make the screen nice and big. You guys can see it. Okay. So first round, what do we do? Now, everyone's going to go CMC in your leagues. I'm just going to go ahead and go buy Jam because he's got the most upside, the most ceiling. He's trending upwards. It's going to be the buy Jan show for me. And I'm just going to do a simulation. We just care about the first round because that's what we're talking about here, right? So here's what it's going to look like typically. See how Christian McCaffrey came off right after? Pretty typical. Had it not drafted by Jan, it would have been CMC. Then you got your run of these wide receivers, either CeeDee Lamb, Tyreek, and then it's going to be Breece and Jan here. So, this is just how it looks. So these are your typical suspects here in round 1. Your usual suspects. Christian McCaffrey, Jan, CeeDee Lamb, Tyreek, Amon-Ra, Breece, Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, A.J. Brown, and Garrett. Now, again, 2, 4, 6, 8. This is a 10-person league. This is the problem. We're just going to set it at 10-person right now. Should have been 12, but we'll just factor in Gibbs and Puka. We're just going to turn the corner here. I had it set it to... I was just doing a live call before this. A guy had a 10-person league, so I was just going through some simulations, so I have it at 10. But just use your creativity here. We're going to wrap around here on this turn. Add Jahmyr Gibbs and Puka as round 1. People are potentially Saquon Barkley because, again, it could mix and match. So who do I like round 1 and why is the big question. Who do I like round 1 and why is the big question. Drop your comments below. Questions if you have them. If you guys drop a super draft question or a super question, I will answer it. I will bring it up to the screen like this. Keep it professional. Obsessed Car Detailer says, I know your feelings with Montgomery taking carries from Gibbs. Does the hammy issue change your thought process at all? if anything, it kind of deters me a little bit more from Gibbs, and that's pretty much it. Like I said, if you do draft Jahmyr Gibbs, let's talk about Jahmyr Gibbs real quickly because it's the news. We're jumping around here. If you do draft Jahmyr, Mr. Jahmyr here, make sure you stack him with a Barkley. So if I were to grab Jahmyr here, if I were going, let's say 10th, I would go Jahmyr and Barkley, and I would stack them on the end here. And that way, if there's any type of issue or something bothering me with Jahmyr, what I would do is I'd feel a little bit more warm and fuzzy if I had Saquon there. You guys following me on this one? Stick with me on this, okay? That's what I would do, okay? Now, again, totally up to you guys what you guys would do, but I like stacking 2 running backs in the first 2 rounds. I'll tell you why. Simply because running backs become scarce very, very fast, okay? Take a look right here on the left side here, okay? It's a 10-person league. And already, like, Achane is a big risk, big time risk. You got Pacheco, who's safe, not overly excited over. Like, you think he only had like 205 attempts? That's not a lot. I want more. Rachaad White is safe, but they got a rookie there. I think it's Bucky Irving could eat into it. Tucker is doing okay. Josh Jacobs could boom, could bust. Marshawn Lloyd's been banged up, but he's a speedster, ultra explosive. Just hasn't been doing well in training camp. Kamara's boring and safe. He's already dealing with some sort of, I read today that Kamara's dealing with some sort of back issue or stiffness, something like that. James Cook, I mean, what a bust he's going to be. He only had, 2 touchdowns last year. I'm staying away, 100% staying away from James Cook. So he's going to be a bust, okay? And they brought in Ray Davis. I'm 100% staying away. So we're talking first round here. For those of us just joining us, smash it, tap it, grab the 16-round draft solution, okay? I really want to hammer out what I would do in the first round and make sure you guys don't make a mistake. Last year, I was the only one calling it last year. I was the only one that said avoid Adams, avoid Pollard, avoid Eckler. I was the only one. Everyone else was telling you to draft Pollard round 1, which was absolutely ludicrous. Why would you do that? Years to wow us, we're not wowed was never a true RB1, right? So you got to be careful with who you're drafting. So back to this. Who do I like round 1? Let's get to it. I love Bijan, a.k.a. Bijan. I like him a lot. Christian McCaffrey will go to. Let's profile all of these guys. Let's put them on the hot seat. Let's pick out the red flags. The thing is, when you draft, here's a secret, okay? Here's a secret I'm going to share with you guys. When you're drafting any player, particularly in the first round, the person with the least red flags, that's who you want to draft. It's very simple. If he's trending upwards, guys, I was talking about it on my show. Fantasy football is like jiu-jitsu. You got to flow with it. If you go into jiu-jitsu and you're all stiff and you're tight, they're going to grab your arm and you're not flowing with it. You got to flow. Like fantasy football, you got to flow. Okay? You got to know who's rising, who's falling. Right? Eckler last year, for example, coming off a pinnacle year, downward trend, new offensive coordinator. The entire situation was different for Eckler last year, but everyone drafted him like he was going to be the same player. Same thing's happening with guys like Keenan Allen. He was force-fed last year. Now he's in a situation where there's other players that are going to get the ball. DJ Moore, Rome Odunze, right? It's going to be a different scenario. He's not going to be force-fed. A guy like Nico Collins, for another example, right? The guy is coming off only 109 targets without Diggs there. There was no Diggs there last year, who was a target hog in his own right. I don't know what he had, 150, 160 targets last year. Now he's there. It's going to pull away. So you're telling me last year I could have got Nico Collins, which I told you to do. Nico and Dell were sleepers last year. If you got 16 rounds, you had them on your team. Listen, guys, welcome to the Common Sense Corner. Here's Rocky. Rocky's here, Common Sense Corner. He's going to knock some sense into you. Listen to this. This is very, very important. If you learn nothing from this, I want you to pay attention to this. So turn on the bell, hit the thumbs up, and listen with your listening ears. Put them on for this point right here. Nico Collins, you're telling me he was wide receiver 55 last year. I could have got him after the 14th round, and he did okay, and he had 109 targets, which put him, by the way, write this down, 25th. Nico Collins was 25th. Now we're going off on a tangent. 25th in passing attempts last year. That's not good. And now you're telling me his ADP is round 2, and he's going to have Diggs there and a healthy Dell, which weren't there last year. And you're telling me I'm going to draft Nico Collins round 2 now? Get the out of here. Like, seriously, guys, you got to start using common sense. Nico Collins could boom, but it's very unlikely that he's going to go from 109 targets, which sucked anyway, wasn't even that good. And he's going to get more targets now that Diggs, unless Diggs gets hurt week 1, Diggs blows out his knee week 1, boom. Yeah, you did well with Nico Collins round 2, potentially. But maybe Dell's the one. Maybe, their tight end Schultz gets more work, or maybe Joe Mixon gets a lot of work, right? So start using logic, common sense. So let's get back to the first round here, okay? Let's talk about it, okay? So we're looking at this, guys. We are looking at this. Hopefully you guys aren't seeing all this stuff on top of my screen. Hopefully not. Okay, so let's profile everybody here. Let's give them the red flags per se. By Jan, the only red flag is right now there is talk that maybe, just maybe, Algier maybe uses more, but there's no way. There's no way that Algier is getting 186 attempts. There's no shot. Not going to happen. He's only going up. And it's funny because in the offseason, in minicamp or whatever, they were saying that Bijan's going to be used like CMC. And then they were backtracking saying, oh, no. They're not going to do that. They're going to use Algier more. Come on. Which one is it? I think, to be honest with you, a lot of these guys aren't showcasing their main stars. There's guys like Keon Coleman who's not being utilized much. There's a lot of players, right? They're not going to show their hand. If you're playing cards, poker, whatever, you're not going to show your hands. You're going to wait, right? You're going to put in the chips or whatever, and then you're going to here's what I got, right? After everything's been done. And that's what a lot of these teams are doing. So they're not going to tell you anymore we're going to run Bijan, we're going to run right through you with him. No, he's ready to rock. So I don't see, knock on wood, barring any injury, I don't see as many red flags with him. That's why I like him. I think he's trending up. Christian McCaffrey. Let's talk about the red flags of Christian McCaffrey. You guys ready? You guys got a notepad for this one. Christian McCaffrey red flags. Here we go. He got married. Okay, well, Joe, that's not a big deal. Okay, it's not. Okay, so you're crazy. But once you get married, man, you get settled, you get relaxed, you get comfortable. So that's one thing. That's not the main reason I'm not drafting Christian McCaffrey. You're crazy. Okay? What's another reason? Super Bowl hangover. Okay, because once you go for the Super Bowl, you make that run, he literally blow your load. You're all in. You're giving it everything you got. So the Super Bowl hangover is a huge thing. You've got that. So marriage and Super Bowl hangover, that alone should deter you from CMC. It gets better. That's why I got a notepad. Let's make some notes here. Why not to draft C? Then, once you have your notes, you can show people. So we said married, right? Hold on. Let me just get a notepad here. We're writing reasons why, if you guys are just joining us, reasons why we're not drafting CMC. You guys ready for this? This is going to be fun. So number 1, married. Okay, number 2, what do we say? Help me out here in the comments. Super Bowl hangover. Yes. I was getting to the Madden cover. Yes. Super Bowl hangover. Hangover. I got a hangover. Whoa. Okay. And then I'm not going to sing. That's not good. Okay. And then we got the Madden cover. So I'm writing this down. Madden cover. Oh, guys, this is good stuff here. Madden cover. Oh, this is my favorite. Pinnacle years. Not 1, but 2 pinnacle years. So pinnacle years. That's 2. All right. Oh, how about this one? He's old. Okay. He's old. Yes. Old. Okay. Old. Okay. 6. What was it? Oh, we got old. What am I missing? Well, help me out here. What am I missing? Oh yeah, injury. Yes, injury already. Okay. Injury. There was one more that I was thinking of. So married, Super Bowl hangover, Madden cover, pinnacle years. He's old, injury already. There's one more. My brain's not functioning right now. What is it? Miles. That's a ridiculous reason. I'm not going to repeat that. Injury, modeling career. There's a lot. There's one more I was just thinking of. It's just not coming to you right now. When it comes to me, it'll be there. Injury already, pinnacle year. Help me out here. I'm missing a good one here. We talked about Super Bowl hangover, pinnacle year, old. I don't know. It's not coming to me right now, but there's another one. So, that's it. Thank you, Justin. Justin's the man. Paid. How did I forget this? Paid. He doesn't have 19 milli. Guys, here it is. Let's go over this. Why we're not drafting CMC. He's married. All right. Now he's going to be a little more chill. A little more, less protein in the diet there. Okay. Super Bowl hangover. Okay, this is a real thing. Remember Cooper Kupp that year? Remember Cooper Kupp, right? Cooper Kupp, the year everyone told you Cooper Kupp that year, he busted. Madden cover. The Madden curse is real, guys. I'm telling you, okay? Pinnacle years, not one but two. Last time a running back finished 2 years on top in a row, Priest Holmes, 2000 to 2003. Very rare does a running back finish on top 2 years in a row. Just want to make a note of that. And he did it not 2 years in a row because last year finished on top, but the year before, Eckler just beat him out in fantasy points. So this would be 2 years in a row. So he'd be literally doing something that hasn't been done in like 22 years, okay? 21 years. Okay, pinnacle year. Old. He's not a young guy anymore. Injury already. And remember, he played 10 games in 2020, 2021, and he got paid. He's paid. Like his belly's full. Okay, done. That's it. Is that enough flags on why we're not drafting CMC? That's enough flags for me. Thank you, Mike. I appreciate it. That's enough flags for me. So let's go back to our little screen here we got going. So Christian McCaffrey, I think we're all come across. We're out. So who has more flags, Christian McCaffrey or Bijan? Christian McCaffrey. Does this make sense, guys? This is a crash course on common sense. Thank you for joining us. All right, let's keep going here. CeeDee Lamb, I got an objection with him. Two of them. Number one, it's a contract year, and he's going to get paid if he's holding out. So the holdout thing's a big turnoff to me. I'm not liking the holdout thing. I'm not a fan. So let's talk CeeDee Lamb. Holdout's a big thing, and then also coming off a pinnacle year. I still think he's going to do well because there's nobody else there. He's still going to get the volume. But CeeDee Lamb, he's safe. I personally just don't have any stock in him, okay? Couple of flags, but nothing crazy. Tyreek Hill, I mean, how many babies does he have? Like, I don't know, man. Like, is he going to continue to have babies and just leave them? Like, I don't know. I mean, you're saying, oh, Joe, that's off. That's not on the field. I'm all about drafting good characters, okay? I always use Larry Fitzgerald as kind of a character I always describe as, your kind of ideal character. I like clean cut dudes, guys that put their head down and work, guys that are hungry. And Tyreek Hill, man, I don't know. He's competitive, but when is the fall off year going to be for Tyreek Hill? I don't know. I don't like him. I don't like him at all. Amon-Ra's safe. He just got paid. Maybe some more Jameson Williams this year. I don't know, but he's safe, I remember when Amon-Ra was like a 5th round pick. Like now everybody's on him, so that kind of annoys me. So Breece by far has one of the, if not the highest ceilings. Now, Braylon Allen, I've been talking about him prior to his little mini breakout, great preseason debut, and Braylon Allen in the back. If you guys don't know, he's got a good backup behind him. Braylon Allen could have been a starter on any team. So now you've got Breece Hall and Braylon Allen. And the problem I'm having, and the difference between Breece Hall and Bijan, is that I keep talking about this, but a lot of people don't understand this or haven't heard me say this, is I know the animal. I know the beast that is Algier. And there isn't much of a beast. He just sucks. He's average. And Arthur Smith is an idiot. Like Arthur Smith had no business coaching anybody, okay? So, you got Arthur Smith who's gone. And Algier's not going to see that type of volume. He's just not going to do it. So I think that it's going to be the Bijan show. Breece, we don't know what we're getting for Braylon now. We don't know if this is going to be a 50-50 split. We don't know if it's going to be a 90-10 split. We don't even know if Braylon Allen's just going to be a backup. Or we don't know if Braylon Allen's going to start. But I'll make a note of this. And remember I said this, okay? I have no Breece stock. And that could be a huge mistake. It never worked out. Every time I drafted this year in my 7 leagues, not once did I draft in the first 6 picks. I think one of them I had the 6th pick and Breece was gone. So I literally missed out on Breece Hall in all my leagues, which may be a good thing. I will tell you this, make a note. In all your leagues, just stash Braylon Allen. I don't know. I got this feeling. Again, if you got bench spots, I'm in a league where I've got like 10, 12 bench spots. I just got Braylon Allen sitting there. And I'm cool with that. I've got him. And if you got Breece, I'd never tell you to handcuff, but something's telling me I've got this like noise in my head. It's like radiant. It's saying Braylon Allen, Braylon Allen, Braylon Allen. So I just figure just put him on your bench. Then you don't got to worry about Breece. And you could sleep with some peace of mind. Because Breece, again, his injuries concerned me from a couple years ago. Am I going to see a healthy Breece all season? I don't know. I hope so. I like him. He's going to be explosive. He's got a massive ceiling. I love Breece Hall, but just stash Braylon Allen. Okay, you heard it here first. I don't know. I just got this feeling. I could be wrong. I don't know. I'm just getting this feeling that just to stash Braylon Allen. All right, so let's keep going along here. Let's keep trucking along. Justin Jefferson. Let's talk about it. We talked about it. JJ McCarthy's out. So my whole hope was, if you're a Jefferson owner, that if Darnold doesn't do good, which is very possible that Darnold doesn't do well. It's very possible. If Darnold doesn't do well, I was like, cool. We got JJ McCarthy. JJ to JJ was kind of like my contingency plan, kind of my hedge, right? I was like, okay, cool. Like, maybe, if Jefferson, you guys draft Jefferson round 1 and Darnold doesn't work out, you got the JJ plan. Guess what? That's out the window with a torn meniscus in his right knee. So there you go. Now, that being said, I do want to tell you something about Justin Jefferson. This is very, very important. The guy is good, and the guy, it could get a ton of volume. That I want to tell you, okay? He could get a ton of volume. Sorry, one sec. I'm just trying to check something on my screen, see if you guys are seeing all my editing features, which is really weird here. I'm just having another technical issue. No, okay, cool. It's not showing up. I got these little prompts that go above my screen where I'm showing it. Tell me like edit, crop, camera 1, all that. It's showing up on my screen. I want to see if you're showing up on your screen, which is good. It's good. It's not. So back to Justin Jefferson. I just want to tell you that I don't trust Darnold. So here's my red flags with Jefferson. Number 1, I don't trust Darnold. Number 2, I'm going running back round 1. So I've ruled out Justin Jefferson out of round 1. Okay. He's out for me. Done, done, you're done. But I want to give you a disclaimer. I think he'll still do good just based on, yes, thank you, Joe R. Hit the thumbs up. Listen to Joe R. Hit the thumbs up. Smash a tap. Everyone in here, guys, hit the thumbs up. I'm an independent. I don't have a 5-letter network helping me, okay? I don't. I did this all on my own, and I want to give advice, and I do give advice that actually helps you win. That's why you got to get 16 rounds and grab a ticket to the summit. We're going to be doing a live with Kyron Williams, Trey Benson, Pat Frymuth, Rashid Shaheed, Franco Jr., and Tajay Spears. It's going to be booming. August 21st, 7:30. It's just like this, but it's a live podcast. And as soon as you get a ticket, you're entered for a PS5 giveaway. This is massive, guys. Grab a ticket, thefantasyfootballcounselor.com. I've linked it below, or you can combo it with 16 rounds. If you're not drafting with 16 rounds, you're drafting completely blind. Okay, there's my plug again. A shameless plug for that matter. Back to Justin Jefferson. I don't trust Sam Darnold, but that being said, I think he's going to get a ton of volume. We're going to get to Q&A in a moment, too, as well. If you guys want to guarantee your question being answered, there's a super chat thingy. Hit that, and then I'll see it. It'll come up first, okay? We are booming as well. And I ask you to do one thing after you hit the thumbs up. 2 things. Hit the thumbs up, take a second. One quick favor for everybody in here, turn on the bell. There's a bell button. Turn on the bell. Let's take this live to the stratosphere as we get closer to the season. By the end of August, I want thousands of people in here. So everybody in here, let's make it a community. Join the Lion movement. Let's take this to another level, guys. Let's raise the roof. Let's raise the energy. Everybody, turn on the bell. We're on here every night, 8:30. Let's party. Let's hang out. Let's have some apple juice and poppin' chips, and let's just hang out every single night. Turn on the bell for the best advice in the industry, the only person giving you the truth, okay? Let's rock it, guys, on our own. Let's do it. Okay, so let's keep moving along here. Justin Jefferson, I think he's going to get a ton of volume. I don't like him round 1. I don't trust Darnold. That's that. Jamar Chase, man, this is another tough one because if we were talking about that flow and that whole trending upwards, this is the year that Jamar Chase has to do it. That's it. This is the year. If Jamar Chase doesn't finish as a top 5 receiver, I'm done. I will never look at Jamar Chase the same way. I will never consider him an ace wide receiver. I just won't. Joe Burrow is a total buzz destroyer. I don't like Joe Burrow. I'm not a fan of Joe Burrow. It's crazy, man. Jason says Donald has not thrown 4K. Just saying. Donald hasn't thrown much of anything. Not much of anything. So anyways, I don't know. Jamar Chase, there's a high ceiling, but with a high ceiling, there's a risk. I don't know. I'm not in on Jamar Chase. He's just not appealing to me. I do see that offense doing well this year. I really do. I don't know, man. Jamar Chase, I don't know. I'm not excited. AJ Brown is safe. Safe. He's gonna get the work. I heard that Hurts is doing really well. Super accurate in camp, which is really good. So, I mean, AJ Brown, if you want a wide receiver here, sure. So I'm on page with Bijan. I'm on page with, if you want to safe Amon-Ra, I'm on page with Breece. Make sure you get Braille now, like I said. Jefferson, I'm out on. Jamar Chase has a high ceiling. AJ Brown is safe. And the last one here, let's do these last three here. Puka, Garrett Wilson, Jahmyr Gibbs, they come off round once. And Saquon, let's address these guys here on the turn. Again, this is 10-person simulation, but typically, so we're just going to use our imagination and wrap these guys around and include Jahmyr Gibbs. And we'll even include Barkley and Taylor because they can come off round one as well. Okay, so I like AJ Brown. He's safe. Garrett Wilson, I love. I think he's got the highest ceiling. What do you have? Like just over 1,000 yards last year. I think he only had like 3 touchdowns, which wasn't high. He hasn't even scratched the surface on what he could do. And not to mention, he's doing well in training camp with a healthy Aaron Rodgers. These guys want to win the Super Bowl. They've got Garrett Wilson. They got Breece Hall. They've improved a lot of the metrics on that team all over, defensively, offensively. They're ready to win. So I like Garrett. I think out of all these wide receivers round one, Garrett has the highest ceiling. I really feel that Garrett has the highest ceiling out of all these wide receivers round one. That's just how I feel. Now, again, I don't have Garrett Wilson stopped because I go running back round 1 and 2. Jahmyr Gibbs. Let's talk about the precious Jahmyr Gibbs, and then I'm going to wrap this up with the Jahmyr Gibbs talk so you guys understand where I stand with Jahmyr Gibbs. And everyone that's just joining the channel, make sure you guys grab 16 rounds and make sure you guys turn on the bell and hit the thumbs up and join us for this Fantasy Sports Summit. It's huge. I see a lot of people starting to join in right now. Let's talk about Jahmyr Gibbs. Let's hammer out the Jahmyr Gibbs. Here's my thoughts on Jahmyr Gibbs. If you do draft Jahmyr Gibbs, make a note here. If you do draft Jahmyr Gibbs, make sure you stack him with someone else, either a Saquon Barkley or a Derrick Henry or a Kyron Williams. I don't care. Stack him with another running back. He's typically coming off at the end of round 1, early round 2. With this recent injury, depending on the severity of the hamstring, depending on how many weeks he could miss, if any at all, or the fact that it lingers, his ADP may drop, pushing him to mid-second round, probably late second round, the latest. I don't see him falling that much just based on sheer talent. But what I've been saying, if you watch this podcast, that's why I'm telling you, turn on the bell. All my episodes, we're doing a top 10 running back episode again tomorrow. I've said this in all my videos. With Jahmyr Gibbs, Montgomery's going to be a pest. I want you to visualize it. Close your eyes, guys. Do I have any Twilight music or Twinkle Twinkle music or something like that? What music do we have here? That's not the music I want. Hold on. Where's our Connor? Okay, let's picture it. Okay, no music. We don't need music here. And it's probably echoing really weird here. Okay, so picture this. Week 1 is there. You've got the Detroit Lions on their first drive, right? And you drafted Jahmyr Gibbs round 1. And you see a Montgomery. Okay, let's just say he's healthy. Let's say Jahmyr Gibbs is healthy. He's starting week 1. He's set to start week 1, blah, blah, blah. You see Montgomery on the first drive, coming out on the first drive. And then, he stays out for the second snap. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. I drafted Jahmyr Gibbs round 1. Why do I see Montgomery? Third down. Are they bringing Jahmyr Gibbs out? Oh, wait, no. Jahmyr Gibbs is still by the sideline. What's happening? Why is David Montgomery acting like a 3-down running back? Because he very well possibly could be and will be a thorn in the side. Or even worse, Gibbs comes out for 1 snap. It's a short pass. He runs for like 20 yards, does well. You're like, yes, Gibbs, I got my 3 points. I got my, 2 points for 10 yards, right? For receiving or whatever, 20 yards, whatever, 2 points. And then I got my point per reception or half point, whatever your league is. Yes, man, 2.5 points. Now you're near the goal line. And out comes Montgomery near the goal line. And dude, I'm going to lose it. So that's what I'm telling you, man. Like, I've got him in one league where I've told people it was a super flex league where he fell to me somehow in the 3rd round. He's my RB3 after I went Bijan. Who was my other guy? Henry, I think it is. And then I went Saquon, Bijan, Saquon, and Gibbs. That's what I did. Yeah. So anyways, that's what I have. He's my RB3 in that league. So again, if you are drafting Gibbs, there is a lot of red flags right now. But the positive on Gibbs is I love him. I love Gibbs. If he's healthy and there's no Montgomery, he is the top running back in all of fantasy. He is explosive. He's exciting. He can catch the ball in the backfield. He's awesome. I love Jahmyr Gibbs, and it is what it is. Okay, let's go. A couple more things here on the first round. We've gone over time, but it's been fun. Puka Nacua, again, very similar, dealing with some injuries. And then you've got to contend with, with Cooper Kupp being healthy. And I've said this many times before, Puka is way expensive considering he's coming off a pinnacle year. So this is very, very risky, essentially. Guys, smash the comment below. I'll leave the smash comment here below. Very risky with Puka because, again, you're contending with Cooper Kupp now, fully healthy, who was the one there. And I'm not a Cooper Kupp owner. I was the only one to tell you not to draft Cooper Kupp when everyone was telling you to draft Cooper Kupp the year after the Super Bowl when he busted and he got hurt. And I said, I told you so. And everybody thought I was crazy and a mean person because I said, do not draft Cooper Kupp, Super Bowl hangover and a possible injury looming. And he actually ended up getting hurt. And everybody had Cooper Kupp. And I laughed at them. Didn't laugh at the injury, but laughed at everyone who didn't listen to me. And I'm telling you the same thing here. If he's healthy, though, Cooper Kupp, he's going to dip into Puka. And Puka is very inflated in value, very expensive for round one. All I want to say is this, okay? When you're looking at wide receivers, and I'll talk about Barkley real quick to wrap up this first round here, and then we'll get to questions. All I'm saying is there's a ton of value at wide receiver later. That's it. If you got 16 rounds, you'll understand what I'm saying. That's why you guys got to get it. But I will tell you this. There's a ton of wide receiver ones later. Let me repeat this one last time, and we'll wrap this up with the first round. There is a ton of wide receiver ones later. With running back, there's a ton of potential RB1s. With uncertainty, more uncertainty at running backs later than there is at wide receiver, where I know a Deontay Johnson's the one or a Calvin Ridley's the one and on, Keon Coleman. I can get them later. That's just an example, right? And, I don't know with running back. I'm guessing on Trey Benson. I'm guessing on Jonathan Brooks. I'm guessing on a lot of these guys later on. Tajay Spears, right? Like, it's a kind of like a 50-50. So you got to be careful, guys. This is very, very important, okay? And the last one here is Saquon Barkley real quick. I want to talk about him. Saquon Barkley, for example, I love him. Now, let me tell you why I love Saquon Barkley, okay? He's finally out of excuses. He's finally on an offense that's potent, that's going to get work, that's going to be explosive. If you just saw, there's a brilliant catch from, who I already said, Jalen Hurts has been phenomenal in camp. He's been super accurate. A phenomenal pass from Hurts to Barkley. So Barkley will be used quite often in the receiving game. Barkley's going to be used in the goal line work to alleviate the tush push. The tush push is going to be faded out as more Saquon is fading in. And this is the big year for Saquon. This is the year that Saquon does it. I just hope he stays healthy. If he stays healthy, he does well. How do I know he does well? Because DeAndre Swift, who sucks, did well last year. 220 plus attempts. I don't know what he had, 5 touchdowns, something like that. Swift did well last year. And if he can finish a season when he hasn't finished a season on the Eagles and that potent offense, that good offense, then Saquon Barkley is primed to dominate. All right, let's get to some questions and comments here. Questions. Drop a comment. Make sure you guys do grab 60 rounds. And again, we do have the Fantasy Sports Summit August 21st, 1 week away, just over a week. 7:30, we're going live right here. Well, you guys got to register. Grab a ticket to the Fantasy Sports Summit, thefantasyfootballcast.com, and grab 16 rounds. As soon as we're done with this call, jump over, grab 16 rounds. You guys will you guys will be very, very happy. Everybody in here needs to go over and grab 16 rounds because once you experience 16 rounds, you'll never, ever lose your league again. Okay. I mean, sometimes you may lose simply because you just had one bad week or something. You go to the championships and maybe you'll lose, but you're going to make the playoffs. You're going to do really well. If you lose by 1 point, it's just a rough week. Sometimes it's just bad luck. But for the most part, you're going to win your league. There's no guarantees in fantasy, but you can get an ironclad roster with 16 rounds. All right, drop your questions. Let's get to some Q&A here. Let's get to some questions. Oh, this is a good question here. Okay, this is a good question. What does Brad think about Jahmyr Gibbs? I don't know, Nana. Let's ask him. You guys know who Breaking Brad is. Breaking Brad, is he even here? Is he in the back? Hold on. Let me see. He's coming through. Come on over here, Breaking Brad. Can you let us know what you think about Jahmyr Gibbs?
We now have breaking news.
There you go. That's what he thinks. Okay, let's move on. Next question here. Quentin Messenger says he's a 16 rounder. He's got to throw the Lions. Guys, hit the thumbs up. Lion mentality. All right, this is a good question here. Matthew Lemieux. Do you really trust Marvin Harrison as your wide receiver one? Really, that's a tough question. It's not about just trusting him. It's about having depth at the position so that if he fails, you're good. So I don't really trust anybody in fantasy. That's why I have a backup plan for a backup plan. You can never trust. He could come out and then Kyler Murray gets hurt and then I don't even know who the backup is there. The backup comes in and Marvin Harrison just sucks. But I really feel as a wide receiver one, sure. I mean, he's as trustworthy as any other wide receiver one. He could get more volume than Puka. He's probably more physically talented than Puka for all we know. We don't know. But I will tell you this, his situation, his talent, the depth chart, the volume, absolutely think yes. To answer it simply yes, but always have a backup plan, okay? There, OC, again, what's up? Obsessed card detail. You're getting a lot of attention. This is what happens, guys, once you guys support the channel. Supporting the counselor and moving to the front of the question line. See, this is such an easy thing to do, guys. Like, I don't know why people don't utilize this. It's a no-brainer. If you draft RB, will you still try to get Zamir White? Yes, because in my leagues, I went RB, and then I get two kind of picks that I explain in 60 rounds what to do, and then Zamir falls to the fifth. I typically get Zamir in 5, and I'm getting RB1. Great question. And yes, I would still try. I'm still trying to get Zamir White, and I'm still trying to get other running back sleepers to pad my running back, my depth. That's what I want to do. It's super exciting. Okay. So yes, thank you, OC. I appreciate it. I could use my card detailed right now, man. It needs a wash. Once I'm in this type of mode, man, fantasy mode, I do nothing but fantasy. It's been pretty crazy. There's so many questions here. Where do I start? Jay, what's up, Jay Smitty? With Ladd and Coleman having a similar ADP, do you choose Coleman? Great question. Now, I was very fortunate to have both of these guys on my rosters. I don't have an answer for this one. This one's tough. I will tell you this. I shoot for Ladd. I shoot to get Ladd in my drafts first. I make sure I do that because Coleman comes off later. Now, I've been fortunate enough because I know how to do it. I've been able to get both. But if you get Ladd, you better be prepared to get Coleman right after because he's going to come off fast. Now, if I miss on Ladd, I'm definitely getting Coleman. Okay? That being said, who's going to do better? I think Coleman's got the higher ceiling. That's how I feel right now. Just a better quarterback situation. And that just feels better right now. But from a PPR perspective, I think Ladd McConkey absolutely crushes it, okay? Let's keep going with the questions here. Taylor Gibbs or Henry if okay, what we got here? Taylor Gibbs or Henry if Barkley is gone? That's a great question. Man, oh man, oh man. Now, again, Gibbs and Taylor typically come off a little bit before Henry. I almost feel comfortable with Henry. Yeah, man, I just feel Henry with that offense. I mean, we look at what Gus Edwards did there with 13 rushing touchdowns, 800 plus yards. That's Gus Edwards. We're talking the king. So I think this is the last year I'm in on. This is the last year I'm in on Henry. So I would lean Henry there. But that being said, I think Taylor could absolutely boom this year. I personally have no Taylor stock. Listen to the top 10 episode tomorrow on running backs. Again, that's why I'm asking everybody to turn on the bell. But Henry feels a little safer at the time of this recording. Do you believe in zero RB or zero wide receiver strategy? Great question. I don't believe in any of this stuff. That's why I created 16 rounds. I think you just need a balanced roster, and you don't want to leave yourself unbalanced, essentially, right? So if I go zero RB and I get two wide receivers, dude, like who's going to be your, RB1? Like you want to feel comfortable with your each position. And we talked about, if you go back a little bit here, we talked about all the red flags. So as soon as I miss out on those running backs, now I'm getting into red flag running backs, which is an issue. So I'm more inclined to go zero wide receiver or just go make sure I got my running backs early instead. Now I'm not opposed to going, Breece and then coming back and going like a Drake London or something like that, right? I'm not opposed to that. So I'm not really static on a particular strategy. Like all this stuff is BS. This hero RB, zero wide receiver. Like I don't care, man. That's why I created 16 rounds. I want to optimize my roster and make sure that it's solid. logical common sense and avoid the red flags. I think that's what the best strategy is. Good question though. Just don't fall into the trap that you have to go 0 or whatever it is. It's just all BS, or hero, or like it's just stupidity. I don't even know what hero RB is. And I don't care. I don't listen to any of this stuff. It's like in one ear at the other. I got my strategy. That's all I care about. A lot of garbage out there with fantasy analysis, stuff that nobody talked about when I got into this back in 2015. Okay. Christian Martinez in the house. I have this running back in best ball. I have this running back in best ball. DK. What? Brian, I guess that's Bijan Robinson, Derrick Henry, Rashad White, Zamir White, Algier. That's wild. That's good. Okay, thank you, Chris. That's a pretty good stack. VC must be just joining us here. Justin Jefferson or Amon Ra. I'd probably go Amon Ra, but if you listen to what I said earlier, I'm going running back here. So neither one of them for me personally, okay? Justin, what's up, Justin? I think you're a regular here. I saw you here the other day, obviously listening, turning on the bell, Lion mentality. Justin, appreciate you. If I were to draft a quarterback round 6, pick 10, round 6, okay. Who would you recommend? Also, who do you like better, Neighbors or Coleman? Neighbors, I would try to get both. Neighbors coming off round 3, Coleman coming off round 8 or 9 or 7. If his ADP is going to shoot up, Coleman. I do like Jordan Love. If you get Jordan Love, I like him probably at that round 6 area if he falls, you know? I know you picked defenses last, but which defense interests you? Great question. I laid this out in 16 rounds, but I'll give you a quick defense that's got good matchup, the Bengals. But I always try to get a top 10 defense based on consensus. That's the only time I look at consensus is for defenses and possibly kickers, okay? Dude, I can't believe it's been an hour. I've been talking no wonder my throat's dry, man. Like my throat's dry. I've been talking for an hour. Listen, I got to roll out, man. I got to roll out. But I try to do half an hour, but here we are an hour later. Make sure you guys do hit the thumbs up. Go grab 16 rounds right now and grab a ticket to the Fantasy Sports Summit. You will not regret it. It's the ultimate fantasy experience, and you guys will be set with your roster. Go grab 16 rounds. As soon as we get off here, turn on the bell, hit the thumbs up on your way out, and then go grab 16 rounds. As soon as we're done here, I'm going to link it below, or thefantasyfootballcouncil.com. Go grab 16 rounds. You guys will be very happy. As soon as you sign up, you're going to get an email with all my mock drafts, all my sleepers, everything laid out on a silver platter, so you guys create an ironclad roster. Subscribe, guys. Hope this helps, guys, with that first round. You guys feel warm and fuzzy on who to draft, who to avoid. Watch those red flags. Remember, CMC, guys. Remember the reasons why we're not drafting CMC? If you guys weren't here earlier, married, Super Bowl hangover, Madden cover, pinnacle years, old, injury already, and it's going to happen again, and paid $19 million a year. He's got a full belly. All right, don't draft CMC. That being said, he can still crush it, but I don't care. Subscribe, guys. I appreciate you. Have yourself an outstanding evening. Tomorrow morning, 7 a.m., we're back on. Turn on the bell and go grab 16 rounds. Don't forget,